everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we turn confusing corporate reports into something you can actually understand. Today we're diving into a filing from Agroz Inc. And trust me, this one's got a few interesting plot twists that could really affect their growth story. Ever heard of a company getting recognized by the United Nations but struggling to avoid a warning from their own auditors? Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg with Agroz. Stick around because we're about to unpack where this company is headed and why it might not be the direction they planned. We'll look at the financial tables, the risks they face, and my final unbiased opinion. Before we get started, if you find value, straight insights from corporate reports, check out the Discord community linked in the description below. It's a great place to continue the conversation. This filing tells us it was filed with the SEC on July 1, 2025 as a post-effective amendment to a registration statement. This means they previously filed to register their securities, it became effective, and now they're amending it with new and updated information. On January 16 of the same year, Agroz Inc. had filed a registration statement which was declared effective by March 31, 2025. Up to this point, as of July 1, no securities had been sold under the registration statement. This post-effective amendment is being filed to update certain information in the registration statement. This post-effective amendment is being filed to update certain information in the registration statement. The date of this prospectus is still July 1. Hinting that the company may not have launched the offering right away, or that it is perhaps a preliminary prospectus. Alright, let's check out some key risk factors. They have some important things to disclose. First, they admit they have a limited operating history. That's normal, since they just started in 2020, but it means there's less of a track record to lean on. It makes it harder to predict how things will go from here. Here's where it gets a little dicey. Their auditors, the people responsible for checking their financial statements, have substantial doubt about their ability to continue as a going concern. That means there's a real question mark over whether Agroz can stay afloat in the long term. It's like a yellow warning light on the company's dashboard. They also mention certain material weaknesses in internal controls exist. That means there might be some problems with how they track and report their financial info. It raises concerns about the accuracy and reliability of the statements they make. And then there's those old related party transactions issue. Deals with companies connected to their own executives. For example, Agroz Group has $500,000 and $4,000 software development service contracts with Brave & Co. Limited, who is somehow related to the Agroz's chief technology officer. This raises conflict of interest flags. A final important risk is that investors may have a diminished return on their investment due to the existence of redeemable convertible preference shares called RCPS. According to projections stated in the filings, the global agricultural technology market is expected to experience big growth, but that doesn't always translate to profits for every single company involved, so proceed with caution. Let's check out how they want to use these funds. We see that they have plans to invest 15% on capital expenditures, 25% on operating expenses, 20% on research and development, 15% for marketing, and 25% for acquisitions of other companies. Remember, this is just a plan, and the management has broad discretion over how to use this money. As always, it helps to see the actual figures. They do give a pretty good list. Okay, let's jump to the good part, the figures. As of December 31, 2024, their total assets were about $51 million. Scroll, redeemable convertible preference shares to scroll. Scroll, but right away there's something that reduces the good impression that those numbers gave. Their liabilities include $2.1 million in redeemable convertible preference shares, RCPS. Looking at revenue, we can see that offering farm solutions in the 2024 year brought in about 21 million ringgit, compared to 16 million the year before. The sale of fresh produce from the CA vertical farms, on the other hand, was up much more significantly, going from 2 million to 20 million during the same year. What is clear is that cost of revenues continues to be on an incline. In 2024, cost of revenues totaled 26 million, while in 2024 they were also getting more expensive. They got consulting and software development services from what they categorized as their related parties for $1.4 million. They spent so much of the cost here related to related parties. They managed to use their assets to generate about 1 million Malaysian ringgit from their operations. That said, it seems like it got much more expensive to start their expansion. They spent almost 7 million on their investing activities compared to 2 million the year before. They did have a few tailwinds from operations, but at the end of the day, it seems like raising capital is the main thing that is keeping them going, as is evident from net cash. This kind of business requires them to constantly reinvest. Okay, let's give an assessment. On one hand, Agroz has a strong mission, a government-backed status, and it's riding the wave of growing AgTech and vertical farming markets in Southeast Asia. Their strategic partnership with ALAN and expansion into new areas shows they're trying to innovate. But the numbers paint a slightly worrisome picture. Their ability to operate as a going concern in the long term remains elusive and is flagged as doubtful. The fact they are leaning on related party transactions is also unnerving. These flags may be related after all. When a business is struggling, that might mean the management is more incentivized to borrow funds from the source it knows best. Perhaps what would be most compelling would be seeing Agroz's software get successfully licensed and utilized to generate recurring revenues and thus get out of the red. Alright, that's our breakdown of Agroz's latest filing. What do you all think about Agroz's potential and its risks that we highlighted today? Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description before leaving, and I'll see you in the next one.